So my most basic filming setup would look something like this. A little tripod from Walmart. Oops, I just knocked that off. Okay, take two. So this is a tripod that I got at either Walmart or Target. I can't remember. It might have been Best Buy maybe. I can't really remember, but it's a basic tripod. And I would obviously have my iPhone inside of the tripod, but I put a case in there just to show you where it would be if I wasn't recording with it. Then I have this lamp right here. So I always use one lamp here that is meant to light my face up. And then I would obviously be sitting in the chair, and I always put another lamp behind the chair there too. And then when I record, it looks something like this. Nothing special, but it gets the job done. So let me show you, besides my iPhone, what else I use to record with here. So this is my old laptop. This one is my ancient laptop. And I got this laptop back in 2011, and the charger's pretty rough looking. They don't even have this kind of charger at Best Buy anymore. I tried to get a new one, but this laptop is actually, something's wrong with the battery, so it has to be plugged in at all times or else it dies. And so sometimes you can see my, I have a little cat tree here for my cat because he likes to look out the window. But I've had times when I was working on this computer before, and my cat Tommy actually came up on my desk and bumped the cord out, and the whole computer died, and I've actually lost work because of that. So I use this computer mainly when I don't need to be on camera, if I'm just making like a math lesson or something like that, because the camera is also too old really to even use. Now this computer I bought used, and it was old when I got it used, but it still works fine. I don't have any problems with it, except the memory fills up very fast on it. But what can you do? So for my sound, I mainly use this little $25 Amazon microphone, and I used to be able to plug this directly into my iPhone back when I had an older version of the iPhone, but now with my newer iPhone, you have to use one of those little extension things to plug it into the iPhone, and I don't have one right now, so I'm actually recording this directly into my iPhone. And this is actually a little bit more expensive of a microphone, but people have told me that they don't like the audio as much on this one, even though it's a little more expensive. So I don't actually use this one anymore because I don't think it works as well, despite being more expensive. So I mainly just stick with this one, and it gets the job done. So let me show you now a little bit about how I would edit, and I'm gonna play maybe 10-20 seconds of this clip here, and I'm gonna pause it at a time when I think is a good time to do some editing. So my philosophy on making GED videos and on the GED test in general is centered on the idea that the GED is a stepping stone for people to move ahead in their lives. And okay, so then I just kind of listen for like a natural spot in the video where I either pause or take a breath, and I'll go up here and I'll hit crop to fill, and I will just crop it just a little bit like this sometimes. And what that does is it just kind of breaks up the monotony of having the camera just glued to my face all the time. So let me show you the last like 5 or 6 seconds, and you'll see that little transition right there. Ahead in their lives, and everyone comes to the GED test with a different. So one other thing that I do a lot is I add in a lot of B-roll, which is basically just adding in extra video clips either that I filmed or that I found on the internet, just to make the video a little bit more enjoyable or more fun to watch. And so let me show you a place in the video where I might include some of that. The GED is a stepping stone for people to move ahead and really get a better career, something that's going to give them more personal happiness. Right, so that's just an example of a spot. So what I would do is I would sometimes I go out and actually film it myself, but more often than not, I will use a website like Pexels. It's called Pexels.com to get free videos that I can use. This isn't the only site that I use, but I'm just using this as an example because this is the main one that I use a lot. And so I'm just going to put in something like celebration here, and I would go into videos. And so I would really take my time. You know, normally I would just kind of take my time going through this, just watch several different videos till I find something that I think would work. And there's not really any kind of rhyme or reason to it. It's just whatever I think really fits the video. And so for the sake of time here, I'm just going to go with the first video here. It looks like fireworks. So let me download this here and download it. And so see how it downloaded here. So I would just kind of come over here into my iMovie, and I would just drop it in here. Something that's going to be ooh, and I want to cut the audio, so I want to detach the audio because that firework sound is going to go crazy here. But so now let me show you how the clip might look now with the extra footage on top. Something that's going to give them more personal happiness, but also more financial stability, so they don't have to be so stressed out about money. So my philosophy on making GED videos and on the GED test in general is centered on the idea that the GED is a stepping stone for people to move ahead in their lives. And everyone comes to the GED test with a different background and a different set of circumstances, and everyone has their own individual reasons why they want to pass the GED. But a common unifying theme that I have gathered after doing this for several years and hearing from a lot of GED test takers is that people really want to pass the GED test so that they can move ahead to bigger and better things in life. Now, for a lot of people, that's going to be going on for some kind of additional schooling, like college or working on a certificate, something like that. For other people, maybe they have a better job in mind that they need the GED for, or maybe they have a promotion that requires the GED. Whatever the reason happens to be, the GED is a stepping stone for people to move ahead and really get a better career, something that's going to give them more personal happiness, but also more financial stability, so they don't have to be so stressed out about money, so that really they can have a better life for themselves, but more importantly for their kids and their family. And that's really what I'm all about here. And so, because I really do believe in the GED as a stepping stone for people to move ahead in life, I try to make sure that all my videos are centered around value and giving people as much practical information as they can. I want people to come away from my videos learning things that they can actually put into practice to get results. But other than that, I also, as a secondary goal, I try to make my videos fun and less intimidating for people that have math anxiety, or people that are stressed out about the GED test, which is very common. And sometimes I do that by adding music or adding a cat joke in here or there, or I'll do that by just adding extra footage in, or anything I can do to really mix it up and break up the monotony. But I don't always do that in every video, because sometimes it just doesn't fit right to be teaching fractions and I'm in the middle of a fraction lesson and all of a sudden I throw in a cat joke. Sometimes it can break people's focus. So like I said, it always goes back to that, value first, and then anything else I can do after that to make it a more fun, enjoyable experience. So ever since I first started developing my channel here and developing my philosophies and methods to instruct people and to make videos here on YouTube, I've always considered research to be pivotal and fundamental, and I've spent entire days, I couldn't even tell you how much time, just poring over literature and books and research studies on topics that are interesting to me that are relevant to the GED, like things like math anxiety and reading comprehension and how learning happens in the brain. And so, I just wanted to show just a little bit, I know this is kind of boring for some people, but I just want to show a little bit of my notes from a document I have on math anxiety. And I started this document several years ago. And a lot of the notes here this is kind of my own personal reference sheet, right? These are notes a lot of these are notes I've copied and pasted into this document from different research studies, just to kind of keep it all in one place for me to reference here. And I just want to kind of show, since this is a behind the scenes look, and I don't expect anybody to actually read this because I'm going kind of fast, but I just wanted to show that there's a lot of research that I've done into topics, and this is kind of my math anxiety, my math anxiety document right here with all kinds of notes from studies and stuff. And I really, in addition to providing practical information in value and instruction, I also have always tried to provide emotional support as well. Things like trying to inspire people, trying to help people develop confidence. With my reading comprehension series that I've been doing lately too, it's a lot of that is informed based off of a lot of research I've done on reading comprehension and on how to read. Because other than math anxiety, another huge problem that a lot of people have is reading comprehension, and that's another huge topic that I don't think anybody really has a solution for, right? I don't think any one person can solve that, but it doesn't stop me from trying my best to assist people with that. And so I also have a series that I've been doing on reading comprehension lately, and I want to show you a little bit about that. So to make my reading comprehension videos, I use Google Slides, which is basically the same thing as Microsoft PowerPoint, but it's Google's version of it. And I have to find older books that are in the public domain, and that means that I can use them for free in my videos. And So one of the first reading comprehension videos I did was The Curious Case of Benjamin Button by F. Scott Fitzgerald. There's also a pretty famous movie that is based off of this, also called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which comes from the story here. F. Scott Fitzgerald is one of my favorite authors. He also wrote The Great Gatsby, which is a really famous book, and there's been several movies made about that. But anyway, so what I would do is I will either just type word for word, the part of the story that I want to use, or if I can find a PDF version on the internet, I'll just copy and paste it right here into my slides. And again, this is only with older stories that are in the public domain or it's legal to use for whatever purpose you want. I wouldn't do this with like a new book that I would just go out and buy somewhere. And then what I do is I make questions as I go. So I put a little bit of text on the screen. And so if you haven't seen one of my reading comprehension videos before, I will ask the viewer to pause the video, read the question, and to try to figure it out, and then we go over it. And so some of the questions are meant to be stuff that's just similar to questions on the real test, like the last question, what is the setting? And like this question here, what is the point of view of the story? That's also something that could be fair game on the test. But in addition to making questions that are supposed to be similar to things on the real test, I also put questions in that I write based off of my research on reading comprehension, more so to help people improve their reading comprehension skills. So let me scroll down here and I'll show you an example. So see this passage right here on the screen. Notice how at this part I've taken a word out here and I put a blank in here in place of a word. And this question is, which word best fits the blank above? And I give the viewer A, B, C, and D. And so I would ask the GED test taker who's watching this to pause the video and to try to figure out which word they think is going to fit in the blank. And this is a strategy called closed deletion. And I just have two blurbs from my research on here. One says closed tasks, although initially developed to measure readability, are considered to improve ability to use context clues and to provide motivation for reading. Another source says the closed procedure forces readers outside the sentence and interrupts the normal flow of reading. Blah, 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 blah. But basically there's evidence showing that, this type of practice right here, this closed task or closed deletion, taking words out and letting somebody try to figure out what the word is, this is a proven way to boost reading comprehension based off of the research. So this is just one example of a technique that I incorporate into my videos based off of research that I've done. So another project that I've been working on is my quick GED math practice test series, and the idea here is that not everybody has time to watch an hour or an hour and a half long practice test video. But if I break the episodes up into segments that are anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes long, some of them are a little bit closer to 25 or 30 minutes, but most of them are around 8 to 20 minutes, that kind of range there. My idea is that it's going to help people that don't have time to watch a full episode of like a 60-minute practice test all at once. And so I'm actually teaching out of a book that I wrote back in 2016 and 2017. And I used to sell this book on my website. Here's a picture of yours truly from a couple years ago. I hate looking at old pictures of myself. Maybe you do too. But basically, I don't sell this anymore because I wanted to put this out for free on YouTube. But I wrote all of these problems here in this book, and there's quite a lot of them here. And I just want to show a little bit of this. And this is available for free on YouTube, most of these problems. And eventually, I'd like to have the entire book put up on YouTube. And but as of right now, I'm only up to 8 episodes, but as you can see, there's just hundreds of problems in here. I think it goes all the way up to maybe 200 something problems in here. Yeah. And so what I was most happy with when I originally was writing this were the solutions that I wrote, and I took a lot of time. Actually, I couldn't even tell you how much time it took to write out all the solutions to every single problem, and I really tried really hard to explain not just how to get each individual question right, but really how to understand the whole topic. I think that sometimes a mistake that test takers make is they'll focus too much on
just understanding how to do one individual question, but really just knowing how to get one question right out of this practice test book, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be able to get similar questions right on the real thing, because on the real test, you're obviously not going to get these exact questions, because I made all these questions up myself. You're going to get similar questions, but they're going to be different things, and you're going to have to be able to think critically based off of what you know. So that's why when I wrote the solutions, I tried really, really hard to explain not just how to get one question right, but how to get the whole topic right. Like, for example, this might not make sense without seeing the question, but here's an explanation where I break down the 10th place, the 100th place, the 1000th place. And like I said, this will all eventually be free on YouTube in my, I think it's called Quick GED Math Practice Test Series. There's 8 episodes already that are me breaking down how to do the problems in this book, and then I show all the solutions on the screen. I'm just going fast through these just to kind of just show you a little bit about the project right now. But if you look on those videos, I put the solutions up, and you can pause and take all the time you need to study them. And so for people that either can't afford a textbook or aren't able to get a textbook for whatever reason, I just wanted to give people something that they can use that is going to just have things written down that they can put in their notes, and in addition to the videos that I already have, it's something that I'm quite passionate about doing, and it's a project that I look forward to continuing. And since I just wanted to make this video and do a behind the scenes thing, I also just kind of wanted to show off my one of my newest projects that I'm working on, and again, that is to get all of this stuff here in this book, which it keeps going on and on and on. It's too much to really even show all on the screen right now, but this is all going to be put into YouTube videos here